Hi, welcome back to the channel. In the last video you would have seen that I swapped the engine over with a breaker engine and got the Porsche 991 Gen 1 back on the road. So this is the continuing story of the engine on this car. So in this video I'm going to strip the old engine apart, take the heads off, take a very close look and ascertain the damage of the bore score. We'll have a very close look at that, also look at the damaged exhaust valve, and hopefully take a close look at the exhaust seat, make sure there's no damage there. I haven't actually got a tool to take the valve out yet. I'm fairly confident that the heads are going to be okay and there won't be any valve seat damage. But yeah, if anyone knows of a tool to take that out, do let me know, because I haven't acquired one or managed to borrow one yet. What else? You might have seen the short video that I put out regarding the crankcases that I managed to acquire right at the start of this project. But I've managed to get Bob at the machine shop in Leicester to effect a decent repair on that, so hats off to him. Right, here we are at the machine shop on a early Sunday morning, so apparently he's left them in here for me. And if I just show you what he's done here, if you recall from the first video, this engine has 4 engine mounting points on the front end of the engine, and one of them had sheared off. Don't know how it had happened because I don't have the full story of this set of crankcases, but he's built this up and machined and retapped the hole, which is quite a difficult job because this is a steel insert in an oil gallery that goes all the way through here, with like a steel sleeve pushed in to the casting. So, you know, we've got 2 different metals here, and also we've got quite a difficult metal for him to work with. So this is like 20% silicon in this aluminium, but he's managed to do it without any damage. So it's a fantastic repair. And unbeknown to me, also I discovered I think this side of the crankcase probably been manhandled at some point. It just had like a little kind of dent there, and I think that sort of put some pressure here, and I had this hairline crack running up here to here. So he's also managed, whoops, he's also managed to do that. Fantastic work there. So I've got a lovely set of crankcases here, and geez, it's all my tools falling off the desk now. Lovely set of crankcases, perfect cylinders, absolutely not a mark on them. I mean, look at the condition of those cylinders. They're just, yeah, they look almost new. Yeah, so it'd certainly be a shame not to be using these crankcases. Just to let you know then, the existing engine has been to Tuscany and back. It's not missed a beat.
Even managed a track day.
Just under a cover there because the weather is turning quite nasty here. We're entering autumn in the UK. But yeah, very pleased with the engine that's in there at the moment. So a quick recap on where this old engine is. I'll give you an overview of what's going on with it. So this is an engine that's done approximately 25,000 miles. It broke down and it turned with a misfire, and it turned out to be a hole in one of the exhaust valves on cylinder 6, causing that misfire. But to discover that, I had to give the engine a bore scope, and most of the cylinders had bore scoring. Some cylinders worse than others. So I'm going to tear this engine apart and see exactly how bad things are, and then decide what to do with it. So all the ancillaries are off, as you can see. Most of those have been swapped over onto the existing engine that's now in the car, including a couple of extra bits. If you remember, the fuel pump was leaking, so I had to pinch a bit off of that. Also pinched the water pump because this existing one seemed to have a smoother bearing than the existing one, though that bearing doesn't really seem to have any play, so maybe that was a bit over the top. Yeah, but the plan is here to get the cam covers off, get the cams out, remove the timing chain to do that. I think I've got a kit to do that, fingers crossed, from Temu. Take the heads off and have a look at the damage, and then try and separate the crankcases. So give this complete nut and bolt strip down. Quite interesting, actually. The only serial number on these Porsche engines is actually on a label on the top here. You can see this is G01498. It's telling me it's the MA103 engine. But nowhere else on this engine can I see any serial numbers. So once your engine's actually in the Porsche body, it's impossible to actually know the serial number of the engine, so you'd never know it was swapped. Right, okay, let's get on with it. So on this timing chain, I assume that this is one of the guide tensioners. Presumably the other engine, other side of head has, it's on the adjacent side of under the bottom here, possibly hidden underneath this thermostat housing. So I need to get this timing chain off in good order without damaging it. So I understand that it's a case of undoing these bolts, and it has to be locked to do that. And I believe to lock it, you have to bring the camera down a bit. You have to have a tool that comes in here. So investigate that next. Yeah, so this is the kit that Temu have sent me. So let's have a closer look at that.
Just to cut in there, a screenshot of the actual order. It was actually AliExpress, £112. I was also looking for the kit that you put the clips into the gudgeon pins in the pistons, but I haven't been able to find that yet, so I'm still struggling. If anyone can help me, let us know in the comments. Failing that, I suppose I could try to fabricate that tool. But I'm certainly not going to buy it from Porsche because it's something like 1,500 quid plus VAT, believe it or not.
Okay, I think I've figured this out. This has a U-shaped lock here that locks into the cam here and here every second turn of the engine when it hits top dead center, and there is a pin in the kit to hold the crank in place at top dead center. This is to aid turning the engine. It just pops into there. The only thing I'm not 100% sure on is this seems to be some kind of tool here that goes into the exhaust. But quite what you're supposed to do with it, I do not know. I mean, I can't really see how that's going to help lock this, but the torque on that is incredibly high. So I'm not going to undo that one, but I'm going to undo this one, which I've already managed to loosen. So yeah, that's ready to come out. So my plan is to undo the tensioners. So I'm going to take this pin out holding that tensioner, and then there's a hydraulic one here. So I figure, let's just get the camera in the right place there, that perhaps if I just take this and loosen the cam chain, then it may be possible to remove the inlet cam, and fingers crossed, I can leave the exhaust cam in place so the timing's spot on. And actually, just before I start on that, let's just have a quick look at this then. So the exhaust cam looks completely fixed, and there's no way of the engine has of adjusting the exhaust timing, but the inlet timing obviously has a couple of adjustments. This looks like it may be attached to a hydraulic valve here, possibly, so I should imagine that's oil pressure driven, and also oil pressure driven inlet lifts, because these valves have two separate lobes per valve, so it's possible for the middle to pop up and use this section, or to pop down and rely on these sections here to lift the inlets. And again, I should imagine it's either that or that, and it's probably oil pressure driven, but we'll get to see that once I pull the thing apart a bit closer. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the condition as I would expect, it's just, you know, fantastic. No wear whatsoever on any of these lobes. There's no ridges. It's perfectly smooth. So that's good news.
So a bit of time lapse here. Apologies for the camera angle here, because sometimes my back is blocking your view, but there's really not a great deal to report here. I am removing all of the cam journals, keeping them in order, certainly not mixing them up. And yes, that cam, that inlet cam has successfully come out there, freeing the timing chain to come off, allowing me to remove the exhaust cam and gear in one place with the timing spot on. So that's fantastic, because I was dreading having to undo that other night. It was so torqued up. I think that would require a different tool in that kit, possibly the flat one that goes in the end or something. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if anyone knows. Oh, also apologies for my voice in this video, because I am still suffering from flu and just getting over that, so still not 100%.
Okay, that seems to have gone very well. We'll take a closer look at the heads later on, but a few observations here. Well, firstly, when I first took these rocker covers off, I assume that this came out as a sort of cradle assembly, but it's all one casting, so it's an incredibly intricate casting that must have been very expensive to manufacture. So heads off to Porsche. So these cam bearing covers are all marked. There's by cylinder E4, E5, E6. Funnily enough, E is actually the inlet, not the exhaust, and the exhausts have A4, 5, and 6. So I've kept them together in the right order. The head is ready to come off now. I should be very careful because I don't want any of these valve bucket seats dropping out at this stage. I'm very pleased with the exhaust cam because the timing is spot on there. So the only timing I've got to worry about is on the inlet timing. So that should, well, hopefully make things easier. Certainly with the tools I've got there, because this is the tool I've got with this kind of U-shaped clip that keeps the cams in the right place to do those bolts up. Right, so let's get these heads off. Well, the head on cylinder 4, 5 and 6. And let's start to have first look at some of the damage. Okay, torch. Just a second, let's get a better view for you. And I'm seeing this at the same time as everybody else. There. Okay. Here's the heads. The obvious scoring. Yeah. Like so. Cylinder 5 doesn't look too bad. The white cylinder 5 looks okay actually. Some marking down there, but let's see how that feels. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's not good. Certainly feel how rough that is. Yeah, that's quite nasty in cylinder 6. And of course this offending exhaust valve, a hole in it.
So looking carefully at this valve, see, it looks really good. I'm quite confident once I get the valve out, it's going to be fine. A bit of valve grinding paste, brand new valve, it should be okay. Obviously I need the tool to do that. Yeah, so once again, if anyone knows of a source of the valve compressor tool that requires, or can point me in the right direction, please leave a comment below.
Okay, we're getting there. Another head to come off. And just before I start on the other bank, take the head off that, I've just wound the engine round and taken a look at cylinder 4, and cylinder 4 looks pretty good as well. Yeah, certainly looking a little bit better than what the borescope was suggesting on those 2 cylinders. Yeah, interesting. Okay, on to the other side now. Hope I'm not getting jumping the gun and getting a little bit too excited, but I'm thinking if I've made a mistake about the other cylinders, then I may be able to use the other 5 pistons. Probably then just need rings and save quite a lot of money. Right, so yeah, on this side I've got to take the high pressure fuel pump off and probably the thermostat manifold here as well, I should think, to get to these heads. So let's crack on with it.
So yes, off with that high pressure fuel pump, which was actually quite tight. I needed some persuasion, but it eventually came off. 3 Torx bolts holding that in, and then off with the rocker cover, I believe. I keep calling it rocker cover. It's not. It's a cam cover. There are no rockers in this. So off with the cam cover. And yeah, same deal again. Getting ready to lock those cams, turning the engine to get those cam lobes in the right position. And let me point out that engine stand before I forget as well. Now that one actually did come from Temu, and you can see that can be had for like £37. That's just, and it's such a heavy chunk of steel as well. How do they do that and send it all the way from China? It's just crazy, isn't it? But it's doing the job. It's fine. Yeah. So just quickly on the timing of this, these camshafts. So there is a hole here. It's a sort of teardrop thing that you can put this pin through. That's locking it in top dead center. You know you're in the right position because all of these cam lobes are now longer, not on compression whatsoever. So all of them are missing compression. These 2 locking U-shaped bolts here, which the tool locks onto, are in the right angles for that tool. And just lastly as well, just one other confirmation is, I'm not sure if you can see that, but the ends of the camshafts there are 2 slits on each camshaft, so there's 2 in total, in a horizontal position. So that's as far as I understand it. And then, yeah, it's just a case of putting this kit on to lock it. So it's the same operation as was done on bank 2. So this is bank 1 I'm working on. So I've locked the cams, and I'm just removing the cam chain tensioners and also the bolt for the inlet gear. Allows the cam to slide out of that gear with the chain still in place, and then drop that gear out. And so there's the cam journal covers coming off, and then the cams can come out. And yeah, I'm so pleased that it's actually possible to remove that exhaust cam with the gear still on him, because it just seems that gear is torqued on to such a high level. I wouldn't be confident undoing it with that tool that I've got to the timing tool there. So undoing the head studs in a crisscross pattern, and once that's done, there's just 4 smaller bolts in the cam chain section of the head there that needs to come out, and one of them's quite hidden, so look out for that one. The head certainly won't come off unless they're all out. Right, so it's head's time to come off. Another moment of truth. Just one thing though, actually, that caught my eye just quickly, because I've had a good look at the cams and all these journals for the cams here, and they're spotless. I mean, that looks brand new. Not forgetting this is a 26,000 mile engine, but I don't know what you call this. I suppose a saddle or something, cam journal saddle maybe. At the end here where the timing chain is, but just one thing that caught my eye on the exhaust journal here, how well you can see that, hopefully the camera's picking up, just a little bit of scoring. It's not, it's not deep, and you can barely feel it with your now, and you can't feel it with your finger at all. So it feels smooth, but when you dig your nail in, you can feel there is just something there. So it's very shallow, but it is there. So that's that saddle there. And the other side, same journal on the other side is spotless. And the crankshaft here is nice and smooth. It hasn't really, I mean, you can see the corresponding marks on it, but that's not really detectable. So I'm just thinking, I'm sure you could probably buy this thing. Let me know in the comments if you think that's worth replacing. I mean, the other things here, they're absolutely spotless. That looks brand new. You know, so does this. Yeah, it's just that thing I noticed. Let's get that round the right way. Pop that back in. Yeah. Right. Moment of truth. The heads. Nice clean table to pop this on. Do you know there is something still attached to that head? What on earth is that attached? No, it's not attached. My imagination. And the entire head gasket has come off on that. Right, let's have a look at these cylinders. Right, first eyelash. Of course, this engine's been on its the other way round, isn't it? So that explains all this oil all over the place on the pistons. But yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of scoring there, and at the top there, running down, cylinder, where are we? One. So that's cylinder 3. Cylinder 2. Just give that a quick wipe. Let's give the other one a wipe as well. So yeah, there's some signs and markings this end as well. So I wasn't going completely mad when I did the bore scope. I do suspect these bore scopes actually make the scoring look a bit worse than it really is, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't even feel that with my finger, to be honest. Is that getting out of focus? Just apologies for that. I mean, you can see the marking, but I can't feel anything there. That feels smooth. So that's probably okay. Now that is that is a definite. That's a deep one. That one, and then over here, it's a nuisance. Those LED torches strobing like that. How you stop them? Right, drives you nuts, doesn't it? So yeah, more that end, and yeah, that's deep at the top, and all the way right down to here. Okay. So I'm going to have to put the camera down a second and rotate the engine to get a look at cylinder 1 there, because I have to hold that timing chain as I rotate that, otherwise it's going to tangle up. Let's give that a quick wipe.
And here we go. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad either, does it? That sort of. I mean, there are. You can. This is what the bore scope would have picked up. But, let's focus on that. I'll try and put some old images up of the bore scopes that I was getting. But it's just running my finger around there. That feels okay. I'd say cylinder one's all right as well. I mean, if cylinder 1 and 2 here was, let's put it this way, if cylinder 3 and 6 was the same as cylinder 1 and 2 here, this would be a damn good engine, wouldn't it? Okay. And yeah, it's not a lot to see there really. Again, that oil is where it was upside down, I suppose, for a number of days.
So a quick look of the original archives of the bore scope I took back in June, and yeah, this is cylinder 2, and I'm thinking all these cylinders are scored, but yeah, I mean that looks like scoring, but it's not. It's just, you know, well, not even wear. It's like discoloration marks, really. To be fair, and then coming up, there's another one here, and that's cylinder 5, bank 2, and again I'm thinking these are deep scratches, but as you can see in the real world, it's not, and they're just that's more kind of like surface discoloration, I suppose, stroke wear, but I mean it's smooth. You can't really dig in our end and say that's scoring. So obviously, this is hopefully good news. Hopefully, once I get these pistons out, touch wood, I'll be able to reuse them. And we'll see, though.
Right, okay, so that's an initial inspection of the engine. I think I'm going to wrap things up there now, for a number of reasons, actually, because things are moving quite slowly still, so I will be continuing to tear that engine apart and videoing that. I'm still waiting to get the final cost of the 4-litre conversion. I've been speaking to the cylinder guy, and he says that for the 4.2 conversion, it requires a modified crank, which is £6,000 on its own. So I'm waiting to hear then the final cost of the larger 4-litre pistons and see if that's going to be worth it. But my initial thoughts is I'm seeing pistons there that I may be able to reuse, which case might only need a couple of them at most from Porsche, which is going to reduce the cost by thousands. So, and of course, I've got this lovely, lovely crankcase there that Bob at the machine shop in Leicester has repaired, and it's, you know, almost new, and it's just the cylinders are spotless. And I mean, you know, as you probably know, you can't actually buy a crankcase set like that on its own from Porsche. You've got to buy the entire, what do they call it? Short block. They call it a short block, and it's like £16,000 plus that. So I'm really sort of feel like I'm heading in this direction though. So what I need to do now is completely tear this engine apart. I'm still no closer to working out why this has happened. Don't know if I ever will, but I've had somebody contact me who works for a warranty claims company who have done some research and have told me that they have found the bottom of these cylinder balls shrink during heat cycling over time. So I'm going to be trying to see if I can measure anything along those lines. Certainly, if it has shrank, then that's going to explain the bore score that I have got there. And in which case may well have a claim against the original dealer who sold me the car and didn't want to help. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes. Yeah, so thanks for following me on the journey so far. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon.